Good morning. How are you all? When I considered this year's theme of dreaming, I felt inspired. To me, dreaming is about hope, seeing the cup half full, recognizing potential, and allowing yourself to be open and curious about majors, career paths, life decisions, and working on values alignment. As a liberal arts university, Elon is the perfect destination for dreamers. And there are resources and support to encourage all of us, to broadly engage while reflecting on what we want to do and how to make a difference in the world. It also includes who we want to become and who we want to continue to evolve into. As we teach and develop our students here on campus, I also dream of a place where fear, doubt, and insecurity are kept at bay so they can see their potential. They can work to find meaning and purpose and accomplish the big dreams they've set before them. So dreaming is about life in little and big ways. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life. I was raised in Charlottesville, Virginia, the second youngest of 6 kids and the only child that was adopted. My mother was an artist who immersed herself in community service, and my father was a psychology professor at the University of Virginia. He loved his teaching and his research, but also affectionately, he became known to students as Doc because he was at the gym all the time. And he started the wrestling team there and coached students in track and field. We always had students around, seeing them when we'd go to the track with Dad, meeting them in his research lab when we had to go and help him with the rats for his circadian rhythm experiments, and in our home where they'd share meals with us and have class on occasion in the living room. Both of my parents grew up during the Great Depression, experienced struggle, and worked to ease the load for others. They were civil rights activists and modeled the importance of experiences versus things, the value of human connections across difference, and how rich relationships, mentoring connections, taking risks to try something new, and creative exchanges would inevitably expand our thinking and stimulate a growth mindset. And it worked. Wrestling with big questions went hand in hand with sibling banter at the dinner table and probably some sibling fighting. Living abroad during my father's sabbaticals sparked curiosity and demanded humility as I saw the world from new contexts. I got to be a part of their dreaming to have a big family, experience the university campus as my other home and a place where I would one day continue my education and, ironically, find a career I'm passionate about and want to keep doing. This was all such a privilege, I know, and I'm humbled by what I gained and how those many experiences shape what I value, what I want for myself, and aim to provide for my kids. Those family dreams also influenced how I aim to make a difference in my relationships as a learner, practitioner, and scholar. I share these details because how I was raised has influenced how I have dreamed about my own future, and also in how I persisted when life happened to me and my circumstances drastically changed. We have many among us who have been dreaming of this moment for some time. Our first-year students are finally starting college. Being at Elon is their dream come true, and they worked hard to be admitted, so they are hopeful, excited, anxious, and already stretching. Returning students, faculty, and staff are here with renewed energy and commitment to make this year the best one yet, to refocus energy on dynamic and engaging teaching and co-curricular experiences, all the while maintaining that high ethic of care. Our university stayed open through the pandemic last year, and we have the privilege of returning to face-to-face classes and social programming to breathe new energy into our campus community, all the while managing the next iteration of COVID-19, but with more knowledge and expertise under our belt. But life is messy, and sometimes our well-thought-out plans end up turning upside down. Dreaming is at a standstill. In those moments, Brené Brown, clinical social worker, public speaker, and academic, says to get in the arena and get muddy. Anybody get muddy? Yes, yes. In academia, we work hard to innovate, perfect, and in one way or another often want to control our circumstances. So here are some of my thoughts on vulnerability. Dorothy Allison, author of Bastard Out of Carolina, says, "An act of love is telling your story." I believe that telling your story is the purest form of helping people learn from one human condition to the next. I gather perspective, wrestle with opinions that differ from my own, ask lots of questions, take risks to be more transparent, and look for the good. Through these encounters, I continue to get to know myself in new ways. The more I share my stories and experiences in appropriate and relevant ways as a learning tool with our students or engaging in relationships, the more I'm giving others permission to do the same back with me. The more we peel the onion, the greater the opportunity to grow trust. We're hungry for human connection, to know and be known. And isn't that what being in community is really about? Every encounter with a student, faculty, and staff member presents an opportunity for me to learn more, to nurture another person's dream, and enrich my own dream of a life that is interesting and meaningful. Brené Brown continues to talk about vulnerability through courageous leadership. If you've read Daring Greatly, it's a great read, and I highly recommend it if you haven't. As we set our paths in motion, I've learned that the more honest I can be with myself, the more open I can be with others. But it's got to start with me. Brown talks about calling deep on courage. There have been many moments in this past year where I've needed to call deep on courage, when I've made mistakes or fell short in ways that didn't match my dream or aspiration of how I wanted to be as a parent, a partner, an employee, a sibling, or a friend. So I take responsibility. I work hard to right the wrongs. I work hard to heal, to help, and forgive. As an institution, we sure called deep on courage when it came to managing our university experience amidst a pandemic, and we all did that together. There are profound moments when life happens to us, not unlike our COVID-19 surprise, interrupting the path we were walking on and forces us to change direction. We've had to reimagine our work and our home life in order to juggle the new demands that everyone has placed upon us. We didn't choose for life to happen, but COVID happened anyway. And we had to adjust our dreaming to manage the impact. Some people fall back into that fear, doubt, and insecurity when life happens in unexpected and big ways. I know it's happened to me. And sometimes we need to initiate change that is hard and impacts others, even though we care deeply about creating a new and better life. When life happens through those small hiccups and even crushing blows, the dreaming and pursuit of our ambitious goals sometimes takes a back seat. And slowly, ever so slowly, we start coming back. Marcia Baxter Magolda, a leading theorist in self-authorship in higher ed, speaks of the developmental ways college students focus on the meaning that is made through experiences and relationships with others, which in turn deepens an inner connection. We're here to create those connections. Amidst a pandemic, masks on or masks off. And I've thought about dreaming in ways that I want to stay messy. I want to live a full life. I want to jump in with it, even though it's hard. I don't know if any of you have read any of Glennon Doyle's work. She's an author for Love Warrior and Untamed. But she talks about trusting the knowing. She calls it a turning point, the place where you hold the dream you imagined and face alternative circumstances that look ahead at where you are being called to serve. I've learned about courage. I've learned about messy. I've learned about leaning into discomfort and staying really honest with myself. And as a result of that, really honest and showing up for others. I've learned about humility and grace. And as the dreams shift into new horizons, my hope for all of us is that we can stay messy, we can be brave, and we can love. So thank you very much.